In the world of snakes, there are some really big ones, but also quite a lot of tiny ones. But when we talk about size records, it's hard to go past this guy, Titanoboa. Hi, I'm here. Number 1. It was discovered in Mexico. The discovery of Titanoboa goes back to 1970, when a paleontologist discovered 2 vertebrae in a limestone quarry near the town of Villa de Ramos in the Mexican state of Guanajuato. At first, they thought that these bones belonged to a giant lizard. And while that is true, further analysis showed that these bones actually belong to the largest snake that ever existed. Since then, more fossils have been found, including ribs, jaw fragments, and teeth. Section 2. The world after dinosaurs. So this snake lived during the Cretaceous period, which lasted from around 145 to 65 million years ago. It ruled the Earth for 2 million years until an asteroid killed off all the dinosaurs. As such, it had plenty of time to evolve into a huge predator. In fact, it was so long that it evolved after the extinction of dinosaurs. So it lived in a world without any predators at all. All the large meat-eaters were gone. And even if there were some mammals that could hunt it, they weren't around for very long either, because this snake was a hypercarnivore, meaning it ate almost anything that moved. Number 3. What did Titanoboa eat? Snakes today come in different shapes and sizes, but they all do basically the same thing. They ambush their prey, constrict it, and swallow it down whole. And it's likely that Titanoboa did the same. But considering its size, it probably didn't need to be too picky about what it ate. There wasn't much alive that could escape its grasp. In fact, it could probably eat almost anything it wanted, including other snakes, crocodiles, turtles, birds, fish, mammals, and maybe even young sauropod dinosaurs if any were somehow still alive. Also, even though it would have mostly hunted aquatic animals, it could sometimes venture on land to look for prey. For example, early research suggested that it was amphibious, which means it could live both in water and on land. However, more recent studies have shown that it was more adapted for life in water. This means that most of its hunting would have happened in rivers, lakes, or shallow seas. No. 4. Anatomy and power. Now let's get into the fun stuff, its size. See, estimating the length of ancient creatures can be tricky, especially when all we have to go on are a few bones. Sometimes, scientists use comparisons with modern animals to help them out. Now we don't have any complete Titanoboa skeletons, but we do know that it was related to the modern-day anaconda and boa constrictor. These snakes don't grow nearly as long as Titanoboa, but they are similar enough that we can use them to estimate its length. Using this method, scientists believe that Titanoboa was somewhere between 11 to 13 meters long. To put that into perspective, that's about the same as an adult humpback whale being 16 meters long. And that's just an estimate. Some sources say that it grew up to 20 meters long. This size estimate is based on its ribs, which researchers compared with those of modern-day snakes. Researchers came to the conclusion that its head was similar in size and shape to that of a modern green anaconda. This would have helped it grab onto its prey and deliver a fatal bite. But once it got a hold of its food, how did it eat it? Well, like I said before, it probably swallowed its food whole. But how did it manage to do that? Considering its size, you might think that its jaws would have to unhinge in order to fit large prey down its throat. But the truth is that snakes can only unhinge their jaws so much. Instead, Titanoboa probably had elastic ligaments in its upper jaw that allowed it to stretch its mouth open wider than other snakes. This would have made swallowing prey easier. No. 5. Why did Titanoboa vanish? So this snake lived in a time when Earth's climate was much warmer than it is today. But despite this, it still managed to vanish, probably due to several factors. First of all, there was less food available. As the climate cooled after the asteroid impact, fewer aquatic animals would have been around for it to eat. On top of that, it would have needed a lot of food to stay alive since it was so huge. Scientists believe that it weighed somewhere between 1,100 and 1,600 kilograms. All that weight would require a lot of energy to move around and keep its body functioning. Finally, it might have run out of luck when it came across a group of humans. Humans aren't known for being the most friendly species, and we've been hunting big snakes for a long time. The earliest evidence of this dates back to around 12,000 years ago, when humans in South America hunted giant snakes called Titanoboa. No. 6. Titanoboa in pop culture. If you're a fan of snakes or just giant monsters in general, then Titanoboa is definitely for you. There are a ton of great books and movies about this creature, including The King of the Snakes by Steve Alten and The Meg by Steve Alten. If you want to learn more about Titanoboa, I recommend checking them out. You'll be amazed by how cool this snake really is. To conclude, Titanoboa is an amazing animal that I wish we knew more about. We don't have many fossils of it, and it's hard to tell how big it really was and how it lived. But one thing we do know is that it was the largest snake that ever lived. It's hard not to be amazed by a creature like that. So what do you think? Is Titanoboa your favorite extinct animal? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, please subscribe. Thank you for watching.